This is the audio test starting with Galaxy S24 Ultra. So same sensors and hardwares for both phones. 200 megapixel main, 10 megapixel 3x, and 50 megapixel 5 times optical zoom. The biggest difference is the ultra wide lens. 12 megapixel on S24 Ultra and 50 megapixel on Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra. This is Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra's audio test. Another change that happened on the audio is the audio eraser AI feature of the latest model. I will give you a quick sample of the audio eraser.
Testing the audio eraser. 1 2 3. Check 1 2 3. Testing the audio eraser. 1 2 3. Check 1 2 3.
So I think that's it for the audio test. Now let's check some portrait shots. Checking the widest field of view on the ultra-wide lens using the 12 megapixel sensor of S24 Ultra and 50 megapixel of S25 Ultra, you will notice it's just a little bit cleaner result on the newest model. Checking my jacket, there's just a little bit of over-sharpening on the older S24 Ultra, and the color is just a little bit off. The color accuracy on S25 Ultra is spot on. I think the best focal length on all sensor is the 2x, where you have the 200 megapixel sensor for both phones. I think the only difference is the white balance, to be honest. You got great edge detection, and even though there's a little bit of beautification, it doesn't look overly beautified like some Chinese phones. You still have a lot of details on the face, but again, too close to judge which phone is which. Now on 3x, this is the smallest resolution of all sensors at 10 megapixel. It's still doing a good job on daylight, but if you look on my wife's shirt, it's just a little bit purplish on the older S24 Ultra. I think this is the story of this whole comparison. Although same sensor and same lens, but the output is just a little bit different on the older S24 Ultra. On 5x, you will notice that on this shot, Galaxy S24 Ultra misfires on the autofocus. But even though the older model got the focus, you will still notice that there's more details on the S25 Ultra. Again, they're the same 50 megapixel periscope camera. And looking at the skin tone, Galaxy S25 Ultra is also a little bit toned down than the older competition. Today was a little bit challenging to shoot on a selfie because of the weather. You would notice that there's a little bit of haze on Galaxy S24 Ultra, but there's none on the latest model. But honestly, if you don't nitpick, both selfie images are almost the same. This is the selfie video recording without HDR on Galaxy S25. Pretty much the same output for both phones. This is a quick video test, video quality test. We're using my wife as a subject for this video test, so we're starting with 0.6. This is the quality you would get. 48 megapixel versus 12 megapixel. Then you have the main sensor. Difference in skin tone. And we also have 3x for both phones. Look at the quality. A little bit of over sharpening on 3x. A little bit noisier too. And you also have 5x. Again, the quality on S25 Ultra is good, but it's a little bit wobbly. Again, switching back to the main sensor. Which phone do you think is better? So this is a quick video comparison without HDR on both phones. So this is the ultra wide lens. Again, 4K 30 FPS. Natural looking on both phones. You got 1x. Do you see any difference? Switching to 3x. And we're also doing 5x. Which phone do you think is better? This is the video stabilization test, starting with the ultra-wide lens in 4K 30 FPS. We're switching to the main sensor. which phone is better. Now we're going to 3 times optical zoom, and lastly 5 times optical zoom. I think here Galaxy S24 Ultra is better. Image quality on both phones are impeccable. I mean, if you want a really good pictures from the portrait or just random things and places, then consider these two flagship phones. I think it's hard to differentiate which phone is which on a blind test, but generally the images on Galaxy S24 Ultra is just a little bit brighter than S25's. You would notice that S24 Ultra will crush the blacks on the shadowy part of the images.
Place when you slow it down. Throw off the rules like our shoes on.
The sky on the newest flagship is lighter, but I feel like the older S24 Ultra manages the highlights better.
In the autumn breeze, you are beautiful when you look at me. Can you feel my...
Again, on a blind test, it's hard to differentiate which phone is which from the ultra-wide main and 3x, but starting with 5x up to 100x, you will notice that there's more details on the newest flagship. Both phones can shoot 4K 120 FPS, which most flagship phones offer today, but Galaxy S25 Ultra can shoot both the ultra-wide and the main sensor. We're starting with the portrait video test. This is Samsung Galaxy S24 in UHD 30 FPS using the selfie camera. And we're switching to the rear camera, also UHD 30 FPS. We have the same portrait video on the Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra in UHD 30 FPS. The only difference is you have HDR. And we're switching to the rear camera, again UHD 30 FPS. Do you see any difference? Another cool video feature of these two phones is the 8K video recording. So you will have the highest video resolution on any smartphone. This is Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra. And this is Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra. Again, 8K 30 FPS video. Again, do you see any difference?
Late night feels like I'm all alone.
On low light condition using night shot, if you have enough source of light, then it will be hard to see the difference. I think both phones are doing really great on night shot with enough light.
Your name pops up on my phone.
I must say that the contrast is just a little bit stronger on Galaxy S25 Ultra. Again, maybe just a simple software tweaking of Samsung, but the details and colors look natural and stronger on the latest model.
Serotonin to my heart, I wanna let you know.
Now, the biggest difference is pitch black condition. There's just more details and sharpness and even contrast on the latest Galaxy S25 Ultra. Again, just a difference in implementation. You got smoother images on S24 Ultra and a little bit noisier but more details on S25s.
It's healing, you're my medicine.
All sensors can shoot night shot from the ultra-wide main 3x and 5x, and they have the same tendencies. There's more details on S25 Ultra.
When you laugh, lights up the other line.
A quick side-by-side test of the selfie camera. So this is HDR off on Galaxy S25 Ultra, and this is HDR on. I think it's a little bit brighter on HDR for Galaxy S25. But in terms of sharpness, details, and even the skin tone, which phone do you think is better? And this is the rear camera test, starting with the ultra-wide lens in 4K 30 FPS, Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra and S24 Ultra. We're also using HDR on the latest model. The biggest difference is the resolution, 12 megapixel on the older S24 Ultra and 50 megapixel on the latest S25. Now, same distance using 1x or the 200 megapixel main sensor. Again, 4K 30 FPS HDR is on the latest Galaxy S25. And this is the 3x zoom on Galaxy S24 Ultra and S25 Ultra. We're also using an external microphones for both phones, so you can hear my voice even on a distance. So a little bit purplish tone on the older model, but Galaxy S25 Ultra has great contrast. It will have the same look all throughout all sensors. And lastly, we're shooting on 5x, 5x optical zoom for both phones. Again, the colors on Galaxy S24 Ultra is a little bit different compared to the ultra-wide lens and the main sensor, while you have consistency on Galaxy S25 Ultra. Also, I'll be testing both phones handheld for you to see the difference on low-light video. Quickly doing the low-light video test handheld. So this is the ultra-wide lens in 4K 30 FPS. Again, we're taking advantage of the HDR on Galaxy S25. Look at the exposure and the clarity. 12 megapixel versus 50 megapixel. I think you have better details on Galaxy S25 Ultra. Switching to the main sensor, I think they're almost the same. The noise reduction is a little bit better on Galaxy S25 looking at the sky. And also, the flaring is a little bit better on the latest model. Both lenses on both phones are cleaned before we do the test. Now this is 3x. You can see that the colors on Galaxy S24 Ultra is a little bit purplish compared to the competition. But in terms of details, I think they're almost the same. We got 5x on both phones. I don't know if you notice the stabilization on S25 Ultra on 5x. It's a little bit wobbly. Going back to the rear camera, it's wobbling a little bit, but in terms of quality, I think they're almost the same. And going to the 4D zoom, you got 20x on both phones. I think the quality are almost the same for both phones. Again, switching back to the main sensor and the selfie video, which phone is better?
If you get the answers you need, don't forget to hit that like button. I think the older Galaxy S24 Ultra still rocks in 2025. You got better stabilization on 5x. The portrait mode and image quality is almost the same on the ultra wide and the main sensor. And basically all the features that S25 Ultra offers, you also have it on S24 Ultra almost. But obviously there's a lot of improvements on the latest S25 Ultra. There's just a lot of AI implementation like the audio eraser, the HDR on video. Obviously you got better slow motion on the ultra wide and the main sensor like what we have on the iPhone 16 Pro Max. And going for the low light video and image, Galaxy S25 Ultra is superior.